All right, welcome back. Welcome back to one of the biggest and the greatest events that take place here on Earth. And I only said just one of many because we're talking about, well, back at the table again with Mr. Ron Calhoun and the organization AHAYAH. AHAYAH. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, sir. AHAYAH.
Okay, good. AHAYAH Community Development. Community. That's a powerful word, Ron. I mean, how did you end up putting that word into the organization to form its identity? Because that's what I believe in, community. But tell me what's going on with that thought process of a higher community and the word development.
Well, the word is Hebrew for I am. When Moses went to Mount Sinai, he asked the Most High God, who should he tell him sent him in regards going back to the children of Israel when they were in the wilderness. He told him, "Tell him I am." So I am is Hebrew, Haya, in the transliteration of it in the English language. So that's where we get Haya from, is in regards to the God of Israel.
Okay,
Yes,
and
sir.
there's a spiritual aspect to it. Okay, I was aware of it, but now that you make me remember again, I said, hey, yeah, that's right. That's right. I recall that. Well, family, today we are here because we all know Ron's Calhoun's brand, Ohio. We've seen the short Instagram, what do you call them? Maybe
Oh,
pages.
the
Yeah,
post.
yeah, the post. Thank you. It's so simple. I'm trying to make it technical. Yeah, post. And so I saw the one on Renwick Street. I was like, wow, very interesting. I see when I see it, Ron. I see the fresh dirt. I see the new wood because you can tell old wood from new wood. I see
Correct.
the drywall. I look at the roof. I see the brand new, very dark asphalt roof. So hey, it's coming up. I see the bricks, and so uh, I want to thank you for actually being so active in the community, building our community up. I don't know if people really thought about the effect that's going on. If I choose not to, if you're redeveloping a piece of property next to mine, if I choose not to do anything to mine, but because of what you're doing, it's going to help the entire community. It's going
Correct.
to help my piece of property. So thank you for your service.
Yeah. Uh, Several years ago, I guess 3 or 4 years, about 3 years ago, I had made a statement and I had posted that online in regards to what we were planning on doing for the south side of Monroe in regards to redeveloping. Now, mind you, to redevelop the south side of Monroe, I can't do it alone. There are other people out there doing rental units as well. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that own property on the south side of Monroe. Uh, but until we start doing home ownership, and so with the partnership that we have with the city of Monroe, we're able to bring in federal funds. Also, with us being a nonprofit organization, we're able to actually tap into even more federal funds through the state to be able to come in and do affordable housing. And the federal government considers rental units as affordable housing, but one of our focus is to try to create home ownership. And even with some of the state people that I was with last weekend or early this week, they're promoting and really wanting home ownership. So that's going to be our focus. We're going to do the rental units as well, but we're actually going to, once again, the program that we have that we were discussed today is about home ownership. So we've discussed it in the past. To start creating generational wealth, or one step of it is to actually own something, own a piece of land that they're not developing anymore. So that's our focus.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely makes sense. And before we get into that topic, Ron, um, we're going to talk about the urban community versus the rural community, where there's great opportunities in both. We're going to break the numbers down. But before we get into it, normally when I chat with you, Ron, you outside in your big 40 acres and a mule backyard. Now I'm seeing you in maybe it's an office, and I want you to explain to me, I mean, where are you? Plus that photo or that sign behind you, is that you in a suit?
No, sir. That's just a picture that my wife purchased for the office to put in the office, and basically what it says: don't wait for opportunity, create it.
Whoa.
So our goal is to create opportunity for everyone as well as for ourselves. So it was a great poster and picture that she purchased for the office. That's all.
Okay.
But it's not
Wow.
me.
Okay. I love it. I love it. A family working together, because I have a saying that a loving family is like heaven here on earth. So, wow, that's pretty powerful. Everybody's involved in making the community better. But hey, Ron, let's talk about this thing called proper preparation, because
Yes.
I've had the opportunity to chat with you several times. We always talk about home ownership. But I want to get into what does pre home ownership look like? And what I mean is that before I can go live in a home or shop for a home, is it fair to say I need to talk to the loan officer at AHAYAH and focus on the documentation so I can get approved for that beautiful home ownership?
Yes, sir. Well, in everything, of course, there's a process. And to actually get into a home, to even apply for a home, there's a process and there's documentation that has to be collected from the person that's interested in either building or buying a home. Uh, and especially since we're using government programs, there's a lot of documentation that they want and that they require. So, and even if you went to the bank, they're going to require the same documentation. So, one step, it's going to be a loan application. You got to fill out the loan application. We got to have that. That's going to be income information, um, tax returns, all these different type of documents that we'll go through and give a list, and hopefully that the people that are interested will be able to go ahead and get those items together. So when they get ready to actually come to us, then like I said, they'll have that information. It'll make the process a lot faster.
Right, right. And to be fair to the listeners and the viewers, that I've already had a pre-conversation with you. You've been able to educate me and prep me on the actual laws dealing with this. And ever since 2008, the big cowboy days in the mortgage industry, now regulation uh, uh, has been enforced all over, from a private side to a government side, and ultimately, what the your organization is trying to do is set up a process, prepare the people to show the government that, hey, this individual desires a home, an affordable home, with the ability to repay, and that's the key, the ability to repay, and that's it.
Well, I'm gonna add to that. Um, I think with our population, and it's just not here in Louisiana as well as in Monroe, a lot of people are deceived. If you're able to rent a home, either whether you own a Section 8 voucher, you have disability and disability money that you receive, retirement money, or whatever type of program or type of income that you're receiving, you're still able to. The government has it set in place where you can still afford a house. And I stress.
Hold on. I've never heard of this before. So you're throwing something new that, because I've always been told you have to go conventional, put 20% down out of your pocket, buy the and purchase a home the conventional way. So now you're saying that if I'm in a position to receive some type of government subsidy or assistance, that can also that's not going to deter me from buying a home.
Not at all. So, for the word of God says, "For lack of knowledge, our people perish." So the biggest problem now is people just don't have the knowledge of the information that the program's out there, and that's been one thing that I've been trying to post on Facebook, on Instagram, to get the information out there to let the people know. If you're on a Section 8 voucher, you can actually still come in and get a home. Just to give you an idea, if anybody that is making what is considered very low income according to our parish, I'm just saying Ouachita Parish, I'm just use Ouachita. Very low income is considered $29,000 down. So if a person came to us and they made 29,000 less, then I can still do them application. We can help them with their credit. And then what happens is, whether it's 33 years, because normally a regular mortgage is 30 years in regards to how many years you pay on it. So with this program, they'll do 33 years as well as up to 38 years in regards to the number of years you can pay for. So by extending out the years of the mortgage payment, then the payment becomes small.
That's right, and that's what and that's what the big push is across the country now. affordable. And the only way to
Yeah,
make it affordable is the most advantage way is to extend it out, as you mentioned, for a longer
correct.
period of time.
As well as a 4% interest rate. Because right now,
Oh, that's
uh,
right. That's the juicy part. Well, let's talk
so
about that. Some people may not understand what you're talking about. Ron, you've been in real estate for how long?
30 years now.
Overall.
30 years.
Yeah, so you know all this stuff. We don't. So when we talk about interest rates, we're talking about right now. I think the Fannie Mae, which is conventional, is it's like 6.1, 6.5 right now. You're talking about
Correct.
4.1 is unheard of.
Correct. So, and once again, if you go on Google right now, you Google what the rate is, you can probably get 7.2, 7.3. So
Yeah, because on
what
the
that
conventional
does,
side, people don't realize that the traditional lenders they have what is called an overlay. So they're gonna based on a person's credit and some other elements, it goes
yeah,
up.
correct. So what that does, 4.1% interest rate compared to a 7.2 or 6.1. I mean, it could be considered. I mean, it could be $1,000 difference monthly in regards to so you mentioned something earlier in regards to the urban areas, which is inside the city limits of the metropolitan cities compared to the rural areas. And the program that we're pushing is for the rural outside the city limits because there's a challenge right now. We had a conference last Saturday before last with the city of Monroe, the Blight conference with the city of Monroe, and an organization came up out of Mid City, out of Baton Rouge, came up, and they're facing the same challenges. So what happens when you're trying to do housing inside the city limits of Monroe, and with an interest rate of 6.1 or 6.5 or 7.2 for a customer that's low income, just like what I just mentioned, under 29,000. Now, in regards to what they can afford, and then the housing supply, it knocks them out. So
Yeah,
if you
yeah, yeah, yeah. You make up a
yeah,
good point.
so
The housing shortage.
correct. So if you don't have a buy down program, and the only way most cities have buy down programs, it has to come through the city of Monroe or whatever city that the people are located in. So they actually get federal home money or CDBG money from the federal government, where they can actually buy that loan down. So prime example, if a house was $160,000, $180,000, and the person went through the first time home buyers program with the city of Monroe, the city of Monroe has the ability to pay up to $60,000 down payment to buy that loan down to help make it affordable. And that right now, of course, because of our population, we don't get that much money inside the city limits of Monroe, not compared to like a Houston or a New Orleans, where they're probably getting $7, $8 million to help with housing. And
Right,
some of them get to 120, $150,000 down payment, buy down money.
right, right. Now you're throwing a lot at it. I want to keep it as simple as possible. You're talking about buy down, CDBG, and all
I'm sorry.
this. So
I'm sorry.
urban, rural. So let's break down this urban, rural. Urban
Okay.
definitely is in the city of Monroe, but
City, yes,
rural, direct where we are, that could be West Monroe, Sterlington,
yes,
Calhoun, the
yes.
parish. So we're talking about
Richwood, Richwood,
Richwood. We talking about 5-10 minute drive
correct.
if a person works in the city.
Yes.
So
I
we're
mean,
still at
don't
home.
yeah, don't forget Swartz. Swartz, anything around the city of Monroe. Now, the funny thing is, they have a question in regards to a property because all of the South Side is not included in the eligibility. All of West Monroe is not included in the eligibility. It's funny how the maps are, um, and I found this out from the USDA. Uh, they moved the maps because of
Census?
uh, the census. Yeah, because of the census. So because our population went up, they moved the map. So
Ah, okay.
yeah, so I
So
mean,
so the census is important then.
very important. We for a lot of our people that don't think that it's important, that we fill out that information and get it turned in. It is valuable. It determines how much money we get allocated every year as a city from CDBG, from HUD. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I never thought I would run into this, but now it makes sense because years ago I would just overlook it, but today, now the more mature I get, now it actually makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are affected by it. Now, we're
Yes,
talking
sir.
about CDBG, we're talking about urban, we're talking about rural, but we want to focus on this thing called home ownership. That's what it's all about. Now,
Yes, it
you're
is.
talking about income and subsidies, but now, for what I'm hearing, you're saying that I have to be transparent. I got to come to the table and share all of my things I value, my personal information, with the organization or with the loan officer. And
Yes.
that's tough. That's hard.
Well, I mean, maybe to some, but if you desire to if you desire to own a home, if you desire to own a home, uh, you're gonna have to. That's what you're gonna have to do. You got to saying submit the documentation. So
Right.
there's no way around it. I mean,
Unless
just
they got cash.
well, if they had cash, they wouldn't even be coming to.
Right, right. All right.
Well,
So,
and they have to look at it like this. One of the main things that most people go by is a car. You have to get the same information, the pay stubs, so they want a copy of your driver's license, saying your social security number, have to pull a credit report. It's the same thing. So buying a house, I mean, a car is a depreciating asset. A house is really, so they make it more difficult and more information because once again, it can be used as an asset that could appreciate if it's in the right area. So
okay, makes sense. Yeah, we'll definitely use that. We will relate it to the very exact documentation when they come to purchasing a car. The only thing is that when you purchase a car, you can't use your government subsidies. But in the program
no,
that you're presenting, we can actually create a valuable asset by disclosing our income. And I'm taking it, income verification is one of the documents that's needed to purchase in a home.
yeah. So in regards to the income documentation, what you're going to be looking at supplying is going to be um, 4 weeks of pay stubs, or just say 2 months, 2 months worth of pay stubs. Um, you're going to need your W-2s. The government actually wants a copy of your last 2 year tax returns. So even if you're self-employed, we can still help finance you as well, because with the self-employed and the person, they're going to actually have the 1040s, they're going to have 1099s, and then the thing with a person that's self-employed, it's going to be the bottom number of what they're actually claiming as income after they do all their expenses and write-off. So that's what we're going to go off of, is
That
the
is
actual yeah is
that
the actual
adjusted gross, huh?
correct.
Okay.
So
And you told me this earlier. Once again, the question I just presented was that that's hard as far as presenting the documentation. We talked earlier last week about bank statements. And I was like,
oh
well,
yeah.
man, I want nobody to know all my business like that, but I don't have the cash to purchase a 80, 100, $200,000 house. So I have to start maturing in business and understand that this is for verification purposes to leave a legacy for the future.
Correct. So the 2 months bank statements. Like I said, Uncle Sam, he wants everything. but once again, by giving that documentation, this program, I'm sorry, can no program nationwide touch this program. Even though you're giving all that information, social copy, your social security number, card, your driver's license, your pay stubs, your 1040s, your bank statements. When you get all that, you give all that information. Like I said, for a person that's $29,000 making less than $29,000 a year here in this area, there's nowhere you can go and get a 33 or 38-year mortgage. There's no way you can go and get an additional subsidy where the government steps in and pays a portion of your monthly note. This program is unheard of. You know what I'm saying?
And a low
So,
interest rate.
and a low interest rate. So, I mean, and then no money out of pocket.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, I know the business, Ron, and definitely you know the business. I don't want to throw too much to people, but I want to add on to that this thing called PMI. I mean,
Yes,
people don't know the savings that's going on.
correct. So mention so they don't even have to pay mortgage insurance. Now you have to have homeowners insurance on the property, but a lot of lenders require with 100% finance until you get down to 80%, less than 80% of the loan amount, they require that you pay a mortgage insurance. But with this program, no mortgage insurance. Like I said, it's so many facets of how great this program is, and it's one of the best kept best kept secrets that people don't know about. So
Well, thanks
to
to
be
you, we know.
to be able to buy an existing home, as well as even build a brand new home. You can't beat it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's what I'm talking about. Something I can actually call my own. Something I can
Yes,
actually tell somebody, get out my yard, shut my door on them.
correct.
It's mine. I can pass it on to the family. So we're talking about home ownership. We're talking about proper preparation, getting this paperwork together. More so, folk, getting my mindset ready to present this paperwork to the organization so I can get approved. And there's a lot of paperwork. We're talking about, as we further get into it, I don't know how deep you want to go today. We're talking about the loan officer, the organization has to evaluate my credit as well. So
Yes.
all of that, DTI.
So correct. So in regards to the credit, a lot of people. Now I'm gonna say this. I've been very impressed with we've sent out over 75 applications since we started advertising, and I would say 90% of the customers have the credit score,
Okay, cool. Whoa.
and 90% of the people debts don't have don't really have debt. You know what I'm saying? I've been impressed. I've been blown away. Seriously and truly.
Right,
So
right.
the number of loans and stuff that we're processing now, everybody like, well, man, he don't seem like he's doing any loans or whatever. No, they're in they're in processing. They're in
Right.
process. And then, the biggest challenge coming next is going to be finding land, the additional land, because once again, out in the rural areas, based upon the loan amounts or what people qualify for, we're going to actually have to go and build more property. So, but going back to the credit part, the requirement is a 640,
Mhm.
and then what happens is we pull a tri-merge file. That's all three bureaus: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. But once again, nobody else does this. The other beautiful thing is alternative credit, and what I mean by that is the government will allow you, if you don't have the 640 credit score. Let's say you fall between a 580 and a 600 or 640. The government, if you have electric bill, gas bill, telephone bill, a water bill, and you can get a 12-month or even your rent payment, if you can get copies of those that show that you've paid on time for 12 months, if you get a printout of those, they'll use those as alternative credit.
Oh, wow.
No,
Okay. So, yeah, we can
I'm like,
establish our financial responsibility.
correct.
Wow.
So I'm singing a song like Keith Sweat. Nobody does that. Nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So income verification, bank
yes,
statements. We're talking about opening up to financial responsibility the traditional way or the non-traditional way.
the non-traditional.
Getting,
So
yeah.
so another thing that I do, even like I said, for the customers that have called us that might been a little less than 640 on the credit score, and I tell everybody, there are rent reporting companies out there. If you have a lease and you're paying rent, there's a company called Rent Rock the Score,
Mm,
uh,
okay.
and then they can just Google rent reporters. But definitely, I would say add Rock the Score. Set up with that company there to actually have your rent payment added to your credit report, because it boosts your credit score 40 to 50 points. That's saying on
Wow.
TransUnion and Equifax. That's a easy 40 50 points boost to your credit score.
Okay. Well, we appreciate dropping that gem. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Definitely appreciate that. And I know there's so much, but these are what you just identified with just some of the basics that's
correct.
needed to present to the organization. And so, can I go look for a house first, or should I come and see you first, or can I do them at the same time, or what?
No. Best thing to do is to come and get pre-approved, get all the documentation into you to us, because there's a process that we have to go through as well. Once we compile all your documentation, we have to send it off to our underwriters. The underwriters then will okay it, and then they send it into the government. Then the government, after everything is approved and everything is signed off, the government gives us a 60 day commitment letter. So once you get that commitment letter, Then you can go out and either find an existing house, or we go to the second phase. If you're interested in building a home, then we present the blueprints, we find a lot, and then we get all the other documentation done, in regards to title work and all that. So yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, you definitely made that simple and easy and definitely digestible. Well, Ron, I appreciate your time. Is there anything else you want to share with the family? Because you dropped so many different gems and the way you present it, I've definitely reduced some of my anxiety and my hesitation. So yeah, definitely come in there.
Well, the only other thing that most people will have to do will be, if they haven't and they don't have a certificate, is a home buyer education uh,
Class course.
class. Yes. So each person has to have to go through that, because the government wants everybody to have some knowledge of home ownership and what it takes to take care of the home, and what it takes to buy the home. So you have to have that home buyer's education certificate to actually be able to close, as well as, to move forward in the progress. But we have a we have a solution for that as well. You can't miss us. So we're gonna help you with the credit. We're gonna help you with the home buyers class. We're gonna help you with building it. One stop shop. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I do. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a workaround. So for clarity, are you saying I need to have that home buyers class before I come and see you, or
No,
what?
no,
When?
no, no. You basically come see us. You start the process. Once we get you approved, then we'll move forward in doing the home buyers class. Because we want to
Okay.
make sure that you're approved. We don't want to waste your time doing the certificate, doing the class. So once you get approved, you got the commitment, then you go and do the class.
Okay, so yeah, definitely go visit Ron over there at the building, AHAYAH Community Development. Because I was over there last week and I had some cheese and crackers and it was a nice setup. I like that. I like that. Laid out the red carpet.
So you ought to stop, man. Quit telling them people.
Oh, I mean, but maybe what I'm saying is that the customer service, being able to sit down with someone face to face, not
Yes,
just a computer, because this
right.
is like buying 10 to 12 cars at one time. But when they can explain to me, well, why do I need this? I mean, you able to come on and break it down, but being able to sit down with someone face to face and get them to really break it down. And if my credit is not where it needs to be, I'm asking for a friend that they telling me what I need to do to get to where I need to get to. That's powerful.
Well, yeah. I mean, and what I do, what I make it very simple. And the atmosphere, like you said, we make it friendly. You can relate to us, so we're down to earth people. Because like I said, a lot of times when we go into the banks or go into other mortgage companies dealing with the nationality of people, we're not as comfortable. So being able to come into an environment where you see people that look just like you, so most people are able to, relax, open up, and like I tell everybody, when I ask about the credit score, because a lot of times we don't even, I get phone calls, and I ask about the credit score. I said I need to know what the score is to be able to help you. So if you don't tell me what the score is, or you can't go to the Experian and look at the app and tell me what the score is, I can't direct you and tell you what we need to do.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So, and that
You need
comes with,
information to
people
help
feeling
me.
comfortable, just like you're saying. Yeah. So, and that goes right back to what you're saying in regards to all the private documentation that people have to present. So, if a person don't feel comfortable with me, they're not going to come in and want to give all that documentation. So they might feel better going to the other nationality. So I don't know. I mean, everybody's different. So it just depends. But I can say this: nobody has the program that we have to be able to process and do what we do. I put it up against anybody in the country. So we're looking to expand right now. We're in Georgia. We're looking to do some stuff in Mississippi. We're looking helping doing some stuff in Maryland as well as Minnesota. So as well as Texas. So this program here is nationwide. So we are already looking to do the program in other states as well.
All right. Well, Ron, thank you for visiting with me today and breaking this all the way down so people are better prepared because it's about proper preparation.
Correct.
I'll give you the last couple of minutes. Definitely share that contact information because we know you. You're a brand, you're a face, but how do we contact you or the organization?
Yeah. Still, the best way to contact us is going to be 318-953 9698. That's me. That's my cell number. And if you want to call the office, 318-855-4745. That's the AHAYAH Community Development Office number here. And we're located at 1205 North 18th Street, right beside Aaron's Pharmacy on 18th Street. So you can come see us, Suite 211. And like I said, if you need us, you can contact us on Facebook, contact us on Instagram. We'll send out the applications to you. So as well as the documentation that you need. We're here to help the community, here to change people's lives. And like I said, we're looking at working with people in Tallulah right now. And then also, if there anybody out there that's listening that has additional land in Farmerville, the surrounding areas around Monroe, Columbia, because we got the government asking us to go to Mending, asking us to go to Farmerville. They're asking us to go everywhere. So to help to create more affordable housing for the outlying areas, and that's what we plan on doing.
Okay, good. I'm glad you presented that because I'm somewhat biased. I'm thinking only Monroe, Washington Parish, but yeah, you're right. This is for all of the state of Louisiana. Is that fair to say? The rural areas.
Correct. And that's why I said, like I said, the USDA had me to go over to Mendon, Louisiana a couple weeks ago, sit down with the mayor over there because the mayor wanted more affordable housing. So we're already set up with them doing what we're doing. And then same thing, we came back. The executive director of Louisiana Housing said, well, Ron, your name came up in Ruston in regards to going to Farmerville to do housing down there in Farmerville. So, now the word has gotten out that we're doing what we're doing because we have a development over in Arcadia, 65 lots that we've partnered with another nonprofit that we got about 36 applications already from the Arcadia area that we're processing to start building houses over there. And then the surrounding areas, I had a group, some guys out of Tallulah reached out to me, same thing. They said, man, we've seen what you're doing over in the Monroe area and we got land over here in Tallulah. We want to, partner with you to do the same thing in Tallulah. I'm working with Noble Ellington down in Winsboro, Louisiana, to develop 38 houses down there. So, I mean, we got properties coming all across North Louisiana. So,
all right. Hey, me and my neighbors need to get active and come over there to North 18th Street, Suite 211, and present our application first.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Come on. We'll be here.
All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time.
All right, brother. Always.